Here's my audience. Eating more whole foods. Why whole foods should be chosen over processed food options. So we all make food choices when we go to the grocery store. Whether we realize it or not, the food that we're buying affects our health and lifestyle. I have spent the week researching the pros and cons of whole foods, and whole foods come out on top compared to processed food options. Whole foods should be chosen and eaten over processed foods. Okay, so whole foods, if we remember last time, are whole or real foods. They're only one ingredient, so some examples of those would be strawberries, watermelon, chicken. They're high in vitamins and minerals, and that's why they should be chosen. These vitamins and minerals help us and our bodies do great things, and we will talk about that a little bit later. They can also help us prevent diseases like cancer, diabetes, those things that we don't want our body to have to go through. Whole foods can actually help prevent and reverse those diseases. These foods also have no additives because they don't have any added ingredients. Additives include salts, sugars, dyes, just the stuff that we don't want to put extra of into our bodies. So Tara Gildas, a registered dietitian and a spokesperson for the American Diabetic Association, writes, "With all the extra fat and sugar in processed foods, the calories can quickly add up. This leads to weight gain. By eating more healthy whole foods, it might actually help you maintain or lose weight. The natural fiber in many vegetables, fruits, and grains may fill you up without adding many calories." Here we see some of the positive results of whole foods in regards to weight loss and weight gain. These foods can also be organic. And organic means there's no hormones or preservatives added into the foods. So Andrew Leahy, author of Organic Food is Better, states organic meat, poultry, eggs, and dairy products come from animals that are given no antibiotics or growth hormones. We know these hormones can change and alter our body in ways that it would not. Like it can increase estrogen levels, which can also lead to weight gain, and that will affect our body negatively. So let's move on to avoiding processed foods. Processed foods are known as more harmful to us because they do have the additives like the salts, the sugars, and the dyes that add more calories and can cause diseases like cancer, diabetes, and those bad things. So processed foods a lot of times have flavor enhancers, and that's where we don't want those additives in our food. That's why whole foods would be better, because they're not adding those ingredients. So Rebecca Rissman, author of Processed Foods, explains processed foods, often contain high amounts of sugar, fat, and salt. These ingredients are harmful when eaten in large amounts. So we see again why we'd want to avoid eating and overly eating processed foods, because then we'd be overly eating those salts, sugars, and dyes that can lead to things like cancer, diabetes, heart disease, as well. And premature death is also associated with the overconsumption of processed foods. When you eat these foods and it leads to these conditions, your life expectancy will go down. Michael Greger, author of How Not to Die, tells us about the risks of healthy dieting, stating, "Most deaths in the United States are preventable. They are related to what we eat. Our diet is our #1 cause of premature death and the #1 cause of disability." So once again, why eating processed foods and containing all those unhealthy things will lead to conditions that will lower your life expectancy. And how whole foods help our body and why we'd want to choose them. Whole foods can help us lose weight, like we talked about earlier, because they're not containing the additives and the extra ingredients. It's less calories, and you're not getting those added calories that you would in a processed food with added salts and sugars. They also help fight diseases. They can prevent cancers, and they can prevent things like diabetes as well, because you're lowering the amount of sugar in your body, and sugar is known to feed things like cancerous tumors. So cutting down on the sugars would be to eat more whole foods, and your risk of cancer and diabetes is going to significantly drop. They also can help lower cholesterol or prevent high bad cholesterol, and that's one of the big downsides of processed foods because they do contain high levels of the bad cholesterol. So Janet Brill, author of Cholesterol Down, 10 Simple Steps to Lowering Your Cholesterol, explains that the harmful effects of bad cholesterol, despite tremendous advances in the management and treatment of cardiovascular disease, it remains the leading killer of American men and women. This is at least part due to the fact that Americans continue to make unhealthy lifestyle choices, particularly when it comes to diet. So here we see how eating these foods in a high amount can lead to these risks of high cholesterol, and that causes heart disease. And then you're not going to live as long as somebody who eats whole foods and has good cholesterol and a healthy heart, because your heart is your heart health is the key to your overall body health. And also these foods, whole foods, they give us more energy because they are so high in vitamins and minerals. Our body needs these vitamins and minerals to complete its normal bodily functions. These minerals and vitamins are broken down and they're produced into energy for our body. So when we eat more whole, healthy foods, our body will have more energy, we'll feel better about ourselves, and it can affect our mind as well as our body because they're all connected. We'll feel energized when we eat these foods. When we eat processed foods, you might feel sluggish and slow and maybe not have the mental clarity you would if you would eat a diet mainly of whole, healthy foods. Okay, so the conclusion, why to choose these whole foods? Again, nutrient dense, they got the vitamins and minerals that our body needs. Without these vitamins and minerals, we would have deficiencies, and obviously our body would not perform as well as it would with these vitamins and minerals. Processed foods contain harmful additives, which can add calories and cause obesity, weight gain, and help with cancer and diabetes. We don't want those things. That's why we'd eat more whole foods. Whole foods should be chosen over processed foods if you want a longer, happier, and more overall well-being. We all make food choices when we go to the store. It's important that we make the right choices, so our whole life is affected by it. So please choose whole foods over processed foods. Thank you.